Game 3 between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Colorado Rockies. The Brewers have taken the first two in dramatic fashion, both games being won by means of a walk-off. The first game going into the 12th inning, where Roberto Clemente's ground ball rocket into left field, able to score the game-winning run in the form of Yadier Molina. And Game 2, also a very tense and chaotic pitching duel, coming to a stop in the 9th inning as Sammy Sosa hits a double into the outfield for the game-winning run. So the Brewers coming in for the sweep. Always a very good way to start the season. Looks like they might be sticking to a pattern here of picking jerseys from yesteryears. Garrett Cole takes the mound for Game 3. Definitely a very formidable starting rotation for the Milwaukee Brewers. For the Colorado Rockies, right-hander Brett Saberhagen takes the mound, looking to give the Colorado Rockies their first win of the new campaign. Brewers seem to like their lineup of Sammy Sosa playing center field, with left field being manned by Barry Bonds, with his opposite side outfielder Roberto Clemente in right field. Batting second will be Pete Rose, third baseman, batting .500, 4 for 8 to start the year. Barry Bonds having a little bit more of a difficult start to his year. He's batting only .200 after 2 games. He'll be coming in at third, playing left field. Rafael Palmeiro will be the second left-hander in a row, manning first base. Had an incredible game, Game 2 of the series, now batting .375. Following Palmeiro will be Robinson Cano, second baseman, the third straight lefty, batting .500, having an excellent start to the 2020 season. Shortstop will be played by number 6 hitter Cal Ripken Jr. And Sammy Sosa, who figures to move up in the order today, will actually be hitting fourth. And batting eighth will be Yadier Molina, playing catcher, always reliable there, followed by Garrett Cole. For the Colorado Rockies, Nomar Garciaparra will start off in shortstop, batting first, leadoff, followed by Veda Pinson, who's just been absolutely on a tear in the first 2 games of the season. Third base will be played by Jim Thome, batting third. Batting fourth, first baseman Mark Teixeira, followed by left fielder Lance Berkman. Right field will be played by Reggie Sanders, who's having a very slow start. Second base will be played by right-hander Julio Franco. And catching, Wilson Ramos. And as I said before, starting pitcher will be Brett Saberhagen. Garrett Cole takes the mound for the Brewers. Garrett's been said to be feeling a little bit of shoulder tightness as the spring began, but was able to let things loose a little bit in the Cactus League, as he was able to also actually very interestingly play a second position. He was playing right field in the beginning of the spring. Instead, he just reminds him of his days in high school. Well, we got another beautiful day here, just right about getting ready to start here. Fans still getting in their seats. The Brewers 2-0 series lead, looking for the sweep today. Barry Bonds is looking to get things started and definitely wants to live up to all the hype that came with his signing here in Milwaukee. Garrett Cole takes the start for today. Had 21 starts last year, going 7-10 with a ERA not Cole-like 3.88 with 98 strikeouts, walking only 36. And so Nomar, good to see him feeling good. And Garrett Cole is high and inside for ball one. Brewers pitching, starting pitching, would like to do a better job in the first inning. 2 games in a row, giving up a run in the first frame. 2 balls, no strikes. Yes, 2 balls and 1 strike now. And Nomar. And Pete Rose snagging a hard line drive. It's a close play. It's immediately see manager Counsell going out there, and they're going to have a review here. It's hard to tell. Of course, the camera grabs it all, so we'll have to see if they're going to go ahead and challenge this play. So there's a signal. Definitely the Brewers want to take a second look at this. If he is out, it's by a hairline, and it's close enough for manager Counsell to want to go ahead and take a little time here. Again, Nomar is always got his wheels. It looks like the ball did get there just before. It's going to be up to the guys in New York to make that final call. And he's out. And it was a right call by manager Craig Counsell. And brings up to bat Veda Pinson. And a looper fly ball into right field. And that keeps Veda Pinson right on board with his
third,
red hot start.
Third baseman Jim Thome.
That brings Jim Thome up to bat. Runner on first with 1 out. And no matter what they do, Brewers pitching cannot figure out Pinson.
That's a ball.
That is his 5th hit and his 9th at bat. And Jim Thome swings at an outside sinker. Fouls it back for a 1-1 count. Swing and then chops it backwards for another strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Cole looks like he found something here, but inside fastball brings the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a swing and a foul ball to the left side for Jim Thome. Word on the street is don't pitch him inside. Another foul ball. Got the ball boy working hard here. And the pitch. And it's a blooper right over the second baseman. This looks like it could be extra bases, at least for Pinson, who makes it to third base on a first to third single
First baseman
for Jim Thome. Now it's going to be up to Teixeira, who's struggled mightily to start the series. And Cole's got I feel like he's not really using his heat. And what's bad about that is if you don't use it effectively early and your off speed ain't working and not too much else is working. So he might be in a little bit of trouble here. The sinker called strike 1, so 2 balls and 1 strike. And a foul ball for a 2-2 count. Teixeira would love to get something going here. And that looks like he went around, and he did, and called out by the third base umpire. Goes down. Mark Teixeira for the second out. The starting lineup for the Colorado Rockies: Garcia Parra leading off, followed by Pinson, Tomey, Teixeira, Berkman, Sanders. Second baseman Julio Franco bats 7th, with Ramos, the catcher, 8th, and the pitcher batting 9th. Next we got Lance Berkman. Got men on first and third with 2 outs. Takes a strike 1 here at the top of the first. Brewers feeling good about getting those first 2 games of the series, but also a little worried about needing to do it in extras. Cal Ripken underneath it for 3 outs. Midway through the first, Colorado Rockies 0, Milwaukee Brewers getting ready to bat. Colorado Rockies were able to get 2 hits out of that one, but also strand 2 as we head to the bottom of the first. Brett Saberhagen will take his first career start here with Colorado Rockies, a highly touted pitcher out of Southern California. Most definitely has a lot of potential, but he said he's not interested in potential. He wants to do it right here, right now. He's interested in the now. So it's going to be a very good opportunity for him here as the Brewers, Roberto Clemente,
Leading off for the Brewers.
steps up to bat.
Right
The
fielder,
Brewers attempting to
Roberto
sweep
Clemente.
the opening series. And Clemente takes a low fastball for strike 1, for ball 1, excuse me. And Clemente, deep fly ball to right field, caught with no problem by the Rockies right fielder for out number 1.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose starts the year with 2 doubles already, having an excellent start. Very patient hitter. Looking to make something happen. The pitch outside, 1-1. Saberhagen looking to mix things up right from the onset. And an inside slider almost gets him. Pete Rose did not like that. Rose might have a reason to not like that. He was 3rd in the league in getting plunked by balls last year with 48. He flies it out to third base, Jim Tomey for the second out. And here's a guy that's just itching to break out of a little mini slump he's on right now. Only batting 200. And a ball right up the middle. Did not get too much of that. And an easy play for Nomar gets him out. So the Brewers get out of the first without getting a hit. The Rockies now coming up to bat at the top of the second with Reggie Sanders. Only batting 143 with 1 RBI. Again, it's very early, only the 3rd game of the season.
Reggie
But
Sanders.
Sanders' bats have just not looked particularly good, and I think that's where the cause for concern comes in. Nobody expects everyone to start the season guns a-blazing, but when you're missing like he just did right there by that much, it just becomes, you almost want to go back to fundamentals, but strike 2, a sinker, is way on top of that one. When it comes to the majors, I mean, when you start tinkering with fundamentals, you're really dancing a dangerous waltz because, very things that got you there as Sanders strikes out looking at a high curveball. That just about fooled everyone in the stands as well. You don't want to really mess with what with the things that got you there. You might want to tweak a few things. Most of the times I found that guys just need a little bit of time to figure things out. As Julio Franco steps up to bat and gets a hold of the changeup, but foul to the left side for strike 1. But definitely we see a more efficient Garrett Cole as he gets a fly out to center field. Sammy Sosa for out number 2.
Batting 8th, the catcher, number 4.
So Ramos already batting 307. And ground ball to second baseman for the quick out, and that's out number 3. And so the Brewers get out of the second inning a lot quicker than they did out of the first, still maintaining a 0-0 tie with the Colorado Rockies. Milwaukee's Sammy Sosa due up next. Sosa off to a very good start, batting .444. Was making some remarks about not being entirely thrilled about batting, fourth. He really would like to bat third. He just says it's a kind of a good feeling for him more than anything. But once again, manager council just saying he's not gonna figure out his lineup based on a player's gut feelings. If he did, he would not get a lot done. So 1 ball, 1 strike for Sammy, and it's outside. And Sammy's had great plate discipline right from the beginning, so you can tell that whatever he needed to figure out in the spring, he did it in the spring. And this is a chopping ground ball to first base, and it is thrown just a little too high for Teixeira, and that is definitely an error to Jim Thome, and that's never what you want to see, especially with the kind of confidence you're hoping that Thome starts to build in third base. And I mean, he got there in time, did everything right, just a little too quick on the release, accounting for the error. Next up is Robinson Cano, batting .298. Also having a great start to the season. And a pitch out. Keeping an eye on Sammy Sosa. Brett Saberhagen trying to keep things from going left here. As Cano thought about it, but held back on a slider. First strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, and he kind of wishes he had that one back, but again, I think Cano's looking for something inside. That's really where he does most damage. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And fouls that one back and does a good job to stay alive here. Saberhagen still focused in on what Sammy's doing over there. And the slider fouled back. You can tell Cano's in survival mode right now. And a shot into right field, a ground ball single. Has the Brewers in business here. Man on first and second with no outs. Here in the third inning, our second inning, with Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken's had a whole bunch of opportunities in these first 3 games coming up to bat with people on base. That's a tough pitch to not swing at, but Saberhagen's not too happy, but the crowd is. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. And a shot into right field, but just foul to the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike. And a deep fly ball to right field. This may be enough to move the runners, and that's about it. And Sammy into third base. So we got runners on first and third with 1 out. It's a great job getting to the ball by the right fielder. And this guy here, Rafael Palmeiro, up to bat now with 1 out. Red hot yesterday, 3 for 4, player of the game. And he just gets his bat on there, more of a check swing, but he does foul it out for strike 1. Palmeiro also would like for you to pitch him inside. He's always been that kind of hitter, and he swings way ahead of that changeup, and that's gotta give good feelings to Brett Saberhagen, who needs any kind of break right now. And Palmeiro fouls that one back. No balls and 2 strikes. You got to imagine Saberhagen's trying to do whatever he can to keep this ball on the ground. And he's trying to get him to chase something where he can get a possible double play out of it, but with Palmeiro, that's dangerous ground you're playing with. And takes a 4-seam fastball inside and low for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he swings and misses. For strike 3. Brett Saberhagen recording his first Major League strikeout, and it could not have come at a better time, as that gives the Brewers 2 outs here with the Yadier Molina. Saberhagen might want to think about who's on deck in the form of Cole. Oh, and that low changeup just must be quite attractive to the viewers' vantage point, because they just cannot lay off of it. Molina does that in this case, and I think if you just lay off that changeup, I think that he's gonna have to start throwing some of the faster stuff up high. And this is a ground ball to second, to the shortstop, and out to second base. And Saberhagen gets out of the second inning without giving up a run. Didn't look like that early on, but does a good job at managing out of here. Speaking of Saberhagen, he now comes up to bat. Says he was looking forward to pitching and looking forward even more to batting. So we'll have to see. And it looks like that's why he may have said that, because he was ready to swing, and he steals a base hit here in the top of the third. And this could be trouble for Cole. Notoriously a much better pitcher when no one is on base. I think the numbers last year were like, once people were on base, batting averages shot up to almost 40 points to 310. And usually he has more about 260, 250, 260, maybe 270. Kind of ongoing pitcher ERA that really helps him keep his team in the hunt. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Garciaparra, and this is a base hit into right field. And just like that, the Rockies are threatening here in the third. 2 on with no outs, and none other than Veda Pinson, who's just absolutely murdered Brewer pitching in both of the games so far. That's a dangerous pitch. Inside changeup taken for a strike. Oh, and that pitch is absolutely painted the corner. Cole did not like that. I don't think anybody did. And a ground ball to first base. Really the only play Palmeiro has is to first base, and we got 1 out with runners on second and third.
Third baseman Jim Thome.
And Jim Thome, his appetite is absolutely driving him insane. He loves the situations. And 2 quick strikes on him. No balls and 2 strikes. An outside sinker trying to lure him out there, but Thome does a good job at staying back. And a line drive into first base, right behind the first baseman, scores 2. And the Rockies are up on top 2-0. It's just an absolute beautiful job of going the opposite way by Jim Thome. That feels great. He just really didn't put a lot on it. It's just more lifted the ball. And just absolutely the best place you want to put it with 2 people on base. So just like that here in the top of the third with 1 out, Rockies are up 2-0. And I think you're going to see an adjustment right now by Cole. He's probably going to go more with his heat, and in this case he doesn't, and again pays for it. It's going to be interesting to see if they're going to send him, and it looks like they might hold him at third. And again, the Rockies are threatening with runners on second and third on a walk-up double by Mark Teixeira. First double of the year. Now Berkman, former teammates here. So this should be an interesting matchup. They used to sit on the same in the same row on team flights. for the better part of 3 years.
Ball 3.
Wow. This umpire is just not giving him anything. There's a huge pitch right now.
Ball 4.
Wow, and Cole gets no help from the umpire and loads the bases. So this is just worst case scenario for Garrett Cole.
Ball. That's inside.
He just seems to have no control with the curveball, and that's really the pitch he uses to set things up. So this is a line drive into left field, but foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Cole's one of those pitchers that if he's not able to set the table with this, with his old reliable, you know, things can go from bad to worse in a hurry. And we got 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a foul ball by Reggie Sanders, able to stay alive. And a pop-up should be an easy play for Pete Rose, and this is exactly what Garrett Cole needed, as there's 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd.
The batter, number 14, second baseman, Julio
So
Franco.
now we have Julio Franco looking to
Inside
get
ball
a
1.
base hit here, would really help his 1-11 start to the season.
2-0.
And Cole is already behind 2-0 with the bases loaded, so this is not looking good, and a foul ball to the left side gives Franco a 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Count is 3-1.
We got 3 balls and 1 strike, and got to be a strike now.
Hey,
We got a full count here.
you got a full count. 3-2.
Oh, and he does not give Cole the call. It looked like it just kissed the
The
outside
catcher, number 40.
box of the
Wilson
strikeout,
Ramos.
but the umpire did not give it to him, and now it's a 3-0 ball game. High curveball for a strike 1. And chops it inside for a strike 2. And changeup does him in. And the Brewers are able to avoid the monster inning. And now up is Garrett Cole, and I'm sure he does not want to be that close to the umpire right now. Is not happy with some of the calls,
1-0.
which in his view, in his opinion, cost him some runs already early in the ball game.
2 balls, no
And Saberhagen possibly sending a message here to Garrett Cole.
Hey. Count is 2-1.
Saberhagen. Oh, and Saberhagen with a line drive, but caught by Julio Franco.
Right
Did a
fielder,
good
number
job at
21.
getting out there. So
Roberto.
we're back at the top of the lineup. Roberto Clemente takes the first pitch changeup for a ball 1. And Clemente with a looper of a fly ball into right field for a 1-out single. And he's going to have to keep a close eye on him.
Up next for Milwaukee.
Clemente notoriously a
Pete
big threat on the base paths. And this is a looper into shallow center field, tracked down quickly by Nomar Garcia-Parra for 2 outs. And Barry Bonds is up to bat. He just needs to relax, not overthink things,
That's a ball.
and takes the first pitch for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. And And is swinging a changeup foul back, so 1 ball, 1 strike. A pitch out just to keep Roberto honest, and Roberto doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Clemente takes off. It's in the ground. It might be on time, but the ball is a high throw, so Clemente sneaks in there with a 3-1 steal of second base. And Bonds takes the inside pitch for his first walk of the season. Now up is Sammy Sosa.
The center fielder, number 28.
Sosa said he's looking forward to being the main threat here for the Brewers. As we talked earlier, he really wants to bat third. It's made a little bit of an issue between him and Bonds. And takes a changeup. Definitely looking for something fast. I doubt he's going to get it. Oh, and Sosa swings at a pitch he shouldn't have even looked at. And Saberhagen able to get out of trouble as 2 are stranded.
The pitcher, number 18.
And the Rockies take a 3-0 lead into the top of the 4th.
Oh, that's out. No.
And Cole already behind 2 balls and no strike to the pitcher. And he just does not look like himself. He's really got to figure something out here. I mean, if you let this guy on base, look at this. So he's just looked back into the bullpen. I mean, there might be something wrong with Garrett Cole here. And it looks like the Brewers are going to warm up Michael Pineda and the left-hander Ojeda. Because that's just nothing good about walking the opponent's pitcher. And 4 balls, too. I mean, it doesn't come easier than that. And this is a foul. No, it's not. He picks it up. He probably would have rolled foul. But just as typically everything is going today, Cole picks it up, tries to make a great throw to first, but is unable to. And it's first and second with no outs. And it's going to be interesting to see how long manager Craig Counsell leaves Garrett Cole in the ballgame. I mean, he is just not even close. And then when he is in the strike zone, he's right down the middle. And that's the kind of pitch we're used to seeing from Cole, that curveball. He just does not have his heater, and that's really the kind of stuff he needs to have and have any shot against his Colorado Rockies ball club looking to avoid a sweep. And he strikes out Pinzon, and that's got to feel good. I mean, this guy has had the Brewers' number all series long. So maybe this could be the start of things evening out a little bit for Garrett Cole. And Tomey takes an inside slider for strike 1. And an inside changeup for strike 2.
I got to count 1 and 2.
Oh, and Tomey nearly gets a hold of one. Fouls it back. He's definitely probably not going to get another sinker. And there's a fly ball to left field, right to Barry Bonds. So Cole might be able to get away from this inning unscathed. After all. But Mark Teixeira will have something to do with that. Already 1 for 2 with a double in the third, batting .417. Outside of Pinson, he's had the most success against the Brewers here to start the season.
Nope, outside. Ball, down.
And Umpire really is giving Garrett Cole a hell of a time here. I mean, that pitch would have been a strike any other ball club, any other ballpark today. That's a strike. I mean, forgive me for saying it. And Rose doing his best to get out there and unable to. And let's see if that's going to cost him. But he walks him. He walks the second batter in this inning. And Cole's already getting tired.
Fielder, Lance Berkman.
Ball, that's it.
And this should be an easy fall out, but it's not. A rare mistake by Robinson Cano. Absolutely bobbles the ball out there. And
The right fielder, number 16.
4-0.
Sanders.
I don't think they're going to call it an error. It should be, but man, just one of those days for Cole, and you can quite possibly be looking at last batter of the day for Garrett Cole. Not the start he was trying to have.
Count is 1 and 2.
And a high sinker gets him out of the inning, and the Brewers are going to have to get something going here because
Leading off for the Brewers here in the fourth.
they're down 4-0 in the fourth inning.
Robinson Cano.
And Cano grounds out to first base for out number 1.
8, shortstop, Cal Ripken Jr.
Ripken takes the inside fastball for ball 1. And another swing and a miss for Ripken. A low changeup.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Ripken gets under one. It's going to be a running play by the center fielder, and Pinson's able to get there in time
Up next for Milwaukee.
for out number 2.
Baseman, Rafael Palmeiro.
And Palmeiro with a deep shot into the gap. This looks like a double, and it is going to be a stand-up double for Rafael Palmeiro, who's having another tremendous game here, trying to get something started for
Catcher, Yadier
the
Molina.
Milwaukee Brewers. Wow, and a swing and a miss. That changeup's been eating him alive all day. Just not able to lay off of it, so you can expect it to keep coming. And Molina, fly ball to right field. Easy play for the third out. So after 4 innings, it's Colorado Rockies 4,
Second baseman,
Brewers 0.
Julio Franco.
And Cole's surprisingly out there again. I think they're going to let him work through his problems here. A lot of times a manager does that, not just to show some trust and loyalty to his pitcher, but also because he wants to know that a guy can get himself out of trouble other crucial areas of the game later on
Wilson.
in the season as well. So a lot of times managers say they do it because they want to instill a trust with the pitcher. And even if he doesn't necessarily come back to win the game, he's able to correct some of his mistakes. The feeling is that he's going to take that confidence and that lesson learned into his next start.
The pitcher, number 18, Brett Saberhagen.
Which for Garrett Cole, as it's looking, his next start will be against the Toronto Blue Jays. And last time he walked Saberhagen, so that was not a good start to the inning. And 1 ball and 2 strikes here.
Ball 2. 2-2 to count.
And strike 3. Strikes out Saberhagen this time around to end the 5th. So after 5 innings,
Your attention, please.
halfway through the 5th, and we have pinch hitter
Number 17.
Garrett Cole
Mark
out of the ball game. So much for that. And he gets a fastball blown right by him, 96 miles an hour, for strike 1. And he's behind that one too, so 2 strikes, 2 fastballs for Mark Grace. And he breaks his bat, but Saberhagen able to get off the mound and catch it for out number 1. That's a lot harder than it looks. Saberhagen had to look at 2 things at the same time, a broken bat going right towards his face, as well as the ball for the out. And a slow chopper to the pitcher. And Saberhagen doing it all today, as he also grounds his, fields his position and throws it to first base. You can see the patience that the Brewers should be displaying right now is nowhere to be found. Just absolutely swinging at the first pitch. Even if it's good, make him throw you some pitches. No balls and 1 strike. Outside for ball 1. Now, if there's a guy who's going to get things started, it's this guy right here. And this looks like it has a chance to drop in, but nope, left fielder comes in quickly. And Bergman in with the catch for 3 outs. And
Your attention, please.
we got Bobby Ojeda now coming in.
Brewers, number 20.
A 4-0 ball game. The game
Leading off
possibly
the
his
Rockies,
to win or lose.
Shortstop, Omar Garcia Parra.
And I say I've always disagreed with some relievers coming in here and being in line for a win should the team catch fire, but not able to get the loss. For example, in this case, even if he allows 3 runs, he does not get the loss. And I feel like if you're in line for the win, then you should take the chance for the loss as well. That's just me. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Nomar Garcia Parra. Ahead of the pitch. And his inside chop back for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a fly ball to center field. Easy play for Sammy Sosa for out number 1. Now batter Veda Pinson. He's had his way with the Brewers, but struck out his last at bat. And a foul ball to the right side, right to the ball boy. Pinson really looking to make 2020 his breakout year. He's got all the tools. Just a matter of putting it together. Now, one thing I have noticed about Pinson early in this opening series is he's staying back on the off-speed stuff. He's going to at least give himself a chance to put the ball in play, and I think that's a huge departure from where his thinking used to be, which was just pull, pull, pull.
That's a ball.
Ojeda works the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Pinson, another foul ball. And this time a ground ball right to the first baseman Palmeiro for out number 2.
Now batting, third baseman.
Jim Thome having a great ball game so far. 2 for 3.
Nope, that's down.
And they fouled back towards the Rockies dugout for 1 ball and 1 strike count.
Ball 2.
2 balls and 1 strike. And he fouls back a fastball, so counts 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 outs in the 6th inning. And a chopper behind the third baseline, but Pete Rose there able to make the quick out for out number 3. So halfway through the 6th is Colorado Rockies 4, Milwaukee 0. Colorado also out hitting Milwaukee 8-3. Well, Colorado has 2 errors on the day. That's not really turned into any kind of a factor. Now walking up to bat is Barry Bonds, 0 for 1 with a walk in the 3rd, starting the season batting 182. And I'm sure he would just love to get a hold of one here. And this time he gets a nice fly ball to left field, but right in the direction of Lance Bergman for first out.
Sammy Sosa.
Sammy takes first pitch down low for a slider. Looking to really open up on one. Oh for 2 on the day. Takes ball 2, slider on the outside. And a changeup. Been working all day for Saberhagen. And an outside slider brings it to a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes here. And an inside fastball nowhere close. And Sammy Sosa takes his base. Saberhagen not happy with himself.
Robinson Cano.
And Cano might be able to get something started here. And a ground ball into right field. Sammy Sosa had to stop. Will he get there in time? And he does, because the ball's thrown offline. So almost turned into an easy out for the Rockies, as Sosa had to do his part in not letting the ball catch him, because as we know, if the ball hits you and you're a runner on the base path, you are out. So good job for Sammy, not only in avoiding that ball, but also getting to second base on time. Cal Ripken up to bat now. It's flat out twice. 1 ball, no strike here. Rockies lead 4-0 here, bottom of the 6th inning. And Cal Ripken did a good job in laying off of that one. Kind of had the sense like he knew it was coming, but in this situation, it's best to not swing at the low off-speed stuff. And Ripken into right field. This could be trouble if it's fair, but it's just foul for 2 balls and 1 strike. Got Sammy on second, looking to make something happen here. And Cal Ripken, a high fly ball to center field. It's going to keep the runners in place though. Pinson with absolute rocket throw to Tomey at third, and it's going to be up to good old Rafael Palmeiro now to make something happen. He takes first pitch. Thought it was low, but is taken for a strike. And Palmeiro fouls back a slider for 2 balls, for no balls and 2 strikes. And he swings and misses for strike 3 and out number 3. And once again, the Brewers leave 2 on base. And so far through 6, it's Colorado Rockies 4-0, doubling up the Brewers in the hit column as well. It looks like the Brewers are going to have to figure something out here, because they're running out of time.
Mark Teixeira.
And you could just hear the frustration in Milwaukee. There's fans really looking forward to a sweep. Hasn't been a sweep in Milwaukee to start the season in 34 years. Last time the Brewers swept opening series at home to start the year, 1986, against the San Diego Padres. It could still happen, but
For Colorado. Left fielder.
the
Lance.
Brewers got to figure something out. Bergen grounds out to third base. Pete Rose, easy throw for out number 2.
The right
Next
fielder,
up is
number
Reggie
16.
Sanders, 0 for 3, striking out in the 4th. His miserable start continues, and the Brewers would hope for it to last at least one more time. Here in the 7th inning with 2 outs. And Reggie finally gets through in the hit column with a scorching line drive into center field. And the Rockies have a runner on first with 2 outs.
Second baseman. Julio.
It's going to be up to Julio Franco, who's only batting 100 to start the... Oh, looks like Molina did not want to throw it.
The count's 1-1.
We got 1 ball, 1 strike. And an outside changeup. Not in Julio Franco's comfort zone. And a ground ball to first base should be an easy play for Palmeiro, who runs over and steps on the bag for the 3rd out. So midway through the 7th, hope you enjoy your 7th inning stretch. The catcher, Yadier Molina. Rockies still up 4-0. There's a foul ball. This could be caught, and it is. It's just an unlucky start
Now batting.
for
Number 20. Your attention,
the
please.
Brewers. Quickly,
Batting for the Brewers. Number 26. Devin White.
first out of the inning. A little behind on that one. Or Devon. Saberhagen's pitch is an absolute gem of a ball game.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
Misses badly on that one with a slider for a 1 ball, 1 strike count. And Devon White with a absolute bullet into the corner for a stand-up double. Could possibly, he's going for 3rd. It's going to have to be a great throw, and no problem for Devon White. His wheels, his first major league hit, a pinch hit triple
Fielder. Roberto.
here in the 7th inning. Just 1 out. So that was a very good shot in the arm that the Brewers needed. And this looks like a play caught by the left fielder. It throws to the plate, not on time. And Sammy Sosa
Up next,
gets the
number
Brewers in the run
baseman.
column,
Pete.
now losing 4-1. And Pete Rose fouls it away for strike 1.
Ball.
And the next pitch is a high 4-seamer for strike 2. And this is a deep fly ball to left field. Could be playable, but nope. Sails off into the stands over by the left field wall.
That's ball 2.
And he takes a would-be strike
2 strikes.
for a ball. There's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Pete definitely wanted a piece of that one. That was ball 3. And a ground ball to Nomar, standing right in play, and easy out for the 3rd out. So after 7 innings, the Milwaukee Brewers finally get on the run column. Still trail the Rockies, though, 4-1.
Your attention, please.
Pitching now for the Milwaukee Brewers, Jose
Number
Arredondo
66, Jose Arredondo.
has gone through a lot just to get back to the majors.
Leading off for Colorado.
Got a little bit of a detour as decided to play internationally. Was with the Norwegian Mountaineers through last year and did an excellent job out of the pen. I'm looking to bring some of that magic here to Milwaukee.
Now batting, the pitcher.
So it looks like Saberhagen's going to stay in the game. Certainly has earned that right, as he's pitched 8 innings, 1-1 ball. And a slider catches Saberhead swinging, and Arredondo records his first major league strikeout in the process. Now, this is a peculiar matchup. Arredondo has been keen of saying that Nomar Garciaparra was one of his childhood heroes as he grew up an avid Red Sox fan. And so always for a rookie to get to be face to face with someone you've been idolizing your whole life, it's just got to be a little extra feeling there. And he's able to ground out quick line drive to Cano for the third out. Pitching now for Colorado is Don Mosey. Don Mosey is a 2-year veteran of majors. Been through with Colorado Rockies since beginning and hopefully till end, he says. So Bonds fouls it away for strike one. And Bonds, 0 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, and he takes strike 3 for out number 1, and Bonds is just not seeing the ball at all because it's very unlike him to not swing with 2
center
strikes.
fielder number 28, Sammy Sosa.
Now batting is Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa looking to get something going. And a deep shot into the outfield. Playable for Pinson. No problem. 2 outs.
The batter, second baseman.
And the Colorado Rockies just getting closer and closer to avoiding that opening series sweep. Rockies pitching, holding the Brewers to 5 hits here in the 8th inning.
Off the plate, ball 1. 2-2 now.
And strike 3 called. Looked outside of me, but Cano can only hang his head in disappointment as he walks back to the dugout.
Center fielder.
And Son up again. Looking to inflict more damage as he's been one of the better hitters against the Brewers. And an easy fly ball for Pete Rose for out number 1 here in the 9th inning.
Third baseman, Jim Thome.
Jim Thome now to bat, 2 for 4 on the day. Takes the outside curveball for strike one. And a fly ball into the left field stands for strike two. And this is a shot. Barry Bonds getting behind to get on. And he gets the out.
Now batting, the first baseman, Mark Teixeira.
Teixeira now up to bat with 2 outs here in the 9th. A swing and a miss to a high fastball. Teixeira did not look good on that pitch. It's like he wants to get a little extra runs going on here, even though they're already up 4-0. A swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. And swings outside to a slider. Really more of a give me up swing for strike 3. It's going to be up to Cal Ripken Jr. here in the 9th inning. James now pitching for the Rockies, hoping to come in for the save. And it blows one right by Cal Ripken. Only 93 miles an hour. And Ripken, line drive into right field for the leadoff single.
Now batting, first baseman, Rafael Palmeiro.
Palmeiro takes a ball for strike 1. And this could be a double play. Out at second and out at first. So the Brewers 1 out away now.
The batter, catcher, Yadier Molina.
And a possible 4-1 loss at the hands of the Colorado Rockies.
0-1, no fault.
Molina takes the first pitch for a ball, an inside slider. And Molina with a line drive into the gap. This is going to be at least a double. So Molina doing his part to keep the Brewers' chances alive.
Now batting, pitcher. Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for
Brooks Robinson pinch hitting for the pitcher here.
Brooks Robinson.
And Robinson to a line right to Nomar Garciaparra, who throws out to first base for the 3rd out and the win. And the Rockies avoid the sweep here in Milwaukee. You know, that's got to feel good. You never want to get swept on your opening series. Brewers just couldn't get anything going. Left plenty of people on the bases. And the Rockies just opportunistic. But you can't take anything away from that guy. Brett Saberhagen, major league debut, and pitches a beauty. Well, if you're the Milwaukee Brewers, you can't feel good about this, but you can't hang your head too long, for too long, because they gotta just get back up and do this again tomorrow as they host another club here.
Final line score for our ball game tonight
than
for the
24 hours.
victorious Rockies. 4 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors. They left 9 runners on base. For the Brewers, 1 run, 7 hits, no errors. They left 8 men on base.
Well, as you just heard right there,
Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 45
can't leave 8
minutes.
players on base and expect to get a win.
A reminder that extra post-game MCTS bus service is available on Route 90, running downtown along Wisconsin Avenue, as well as trolley service on the Lake Route, also along Wisconsin Avenue. Well, that's all for us, folks, here in Milwaukee. Alejandro Salas, happy to bring you
televised broadcast ball game between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies get the better of the Brew Crew in this game 4-1 as they score 3 in the third inning and 1 more in the fourth. And after that, they just were played good enough to hold back Milwaukee and only scoring that lone run in the seventh inning. Colorado able to get through and prosper, even though 2 errors in the field did not assist them in that process. As mentioned, Brett Saberhagen gets his first Major League win in his first Major League appearance. His line score reads at 7 innings pitched with 5 hits allowed, only 1 earned run, 2 walks, and only 3 strikeouts. Losing pitcher Garrett Cole goes 0 for 1, struggled most of the game, only pitched 5 innings, allowing 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs at that, with 4 walks and just 6 strikeouts. The save, Bob James, his first of the year. Well, have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you again here soon for some more Milwaukee baseball.